Hello, I'm coming from Etheal. I'm the CTO and co-founder. I'm going to have two very short presentations. First, about what we do. Second is what we learned from analyzing 850 ICOs. So start with the first one. Basically, we are going to improve the lives of 1 billion people by making healthcare more transparent. We are building the booking.com of healthcare, where you can book elective care, any country, and save between 40 and 60%, including your travel costs. That's a lot. So people ask me, how do we do that? And the answer is we don't. It's already there. So the discount is there because, for example, my home country, Hungary, specializes in dental care. If you come to Hungary, the quality is very good, the waiting time is 0, the price is very low. So you can save 50%. The problem is, this market is very big, it's huge, so this is not a problem, this is an opportunity. It's already $300 million only in Hungary, but there are bigger hubs in the world like Thailand with its $4.7 billion, and there are countries which specialize in the selected care they provide. For example, lots of patients from the Persian Gulf go to South Korea to get transplantation surgeries. The whole market is skyrocketing according to Visa and Oxford Economics. Medical tourism is going to be a $500 billion industry by 2025. So we saw two main issues. The first is standardization. So there is no way now to tell which doctor does which treatment across national borders. The second problem is trust. So for example, if I now convince you to come to Hungary and make your dental care, what will you do? You go to Google, you search, and what you find, like paid marketing. So you either way believe the paid marketing or try to look for some connections and recommendations, but it's not really scalable. So this trust issue, it's really good fit for blockchain, and this way we really can improve the lives of 1 billion people. And why blockchain? We want to decentralize reviews because we think it's unfair that if doctors stop paying for doctor listing websites, all the reviews are deleted. And if you think about that as a consumer, how do you make the decision? You read reviews, right? So that's how you make the decision. How we put on the blockchain, we use a quite clever solution for that. We don't really store plain text on the blockchain. When our review form asks, how was the doctor, how was the treatment, how was the facility, and you say, okay, the doctor was nice or helpful, we don't store the plain text, we store labels, so only the ID of the label on the blockchain. It's good for two reasons. First, it's very compressed, so it's cheap to store, because storing lots of plain text is not really good, and it's very scalable in translation. So for example, if we have 1 million Japanese reviews, what we have to do to translate it to any other language, we only have to translate the labels itself, and with one click of a button, all the reviews are translated. So regarding our token structure, I would just to highlight that the founders' token are vesting for 4 years with a one-year cliff. And we have 3 phases. The first is expansion quickly to 5 to 20 countries. The second is monetization. And the third is becoming a fully fledged blockchain platform. So our team is quite global, from 8 countries, having experiences in companies like Google or Bank of America, and we also have on board the Harvard Medical School professor, Dr. Tabori. Prior working on Etheal, we have quite a strong background working with enterprises and with startups. So we won 2 Effie Awards, which is basically the Oscar of advertising efficiency, and we also won a Deloitte Technology Fast 50 first place in the CE region. So our community is huge, it's growing, and that's why I guess we won the audience award in Ljubljana, and also in the biggest consumer electronics show, Las Vegas. 1 week ago, we won the 2nd place among blockchain projects. So we got invited to a private Stanford event, talking with Excel, Sequoia Capital, and Greylock. So the industry loves us. We got pretty good ratings. And I developed our smart contract, which was successfully audited by Blockchain Labs New Zealand, who also audited several top ICOs. So in the last 4 years, we are working on this product, and we have tremendous success with our centralized current solution. We are now present in Hungary and Brazil, and we are serving 2.5 million visits per year. So we got pretty good traction there. We have signed contracts with several big medical clinics, And we have a few epic to-dos in our queue until March, when we have our normal sale. And for example, we are going to expand. Actually, we are working on expanding to the US. So now we have a fun airdrop. So just send your Ethereum address to this email address, and we send back 1 HEAL token. Okay, so just to wrap it up, we have a working product. We won several awards. We reached our min cap in 5 hours in our pre-sale, and we have a global team. So that's all. We are looking for strategic investors at the moment. So if you can help with media, PR, and connections within healthcare blockchain, just approach me. And now I'm going to do my second quick presentation about our learnings, because I'm an engineer. My co-founding partner is a researcher veterinary, so we pretty geeks. So before doing our own ICO, we analyzed 850, so maybe it's going to be useful for you if you plan your own ICO or you just want to invest. So I just really just, okay. The first, we have 6 different areas you really have to focus on, like having a right team, having a good white paper, getting the legal stuff right, getting smart contracts right, getting security right, and doing marketing right, obviously. So why we decided to do an ICO, we saw what 10x did. They raised like $80 million, but average Slovakian guys, they raised $30 million. So we thought, okay, this is something which is really interesting. So when you should do an ICO, first is when you have really 1 year to work on it, because first when we planned, we were like, okay, in 3 months we're gonna do it, and we can get it done. But eventually, it turns out you need at least 1 year. You also need a vision. So it's not like putting everything on the blockchain. You really need a core vision, which is the perfect solution for blockchain. You also need, like, at least, I mean, in our experience, to start out 20 BTC to do it. And you also have to have the team who not just doing the ICO itself, but really has the experience to build the product itself. So obviously you need advisors. They won't do the work for you, but they will provide very good feedbacks, and they will open doors for you. So you really need it. You need probably early investors, because this is really costly. And when not to do it, if the only thing why you do it, because you want to have a Lambo, it's not the way. Or if you say that Shitcoin X just raised $5 million, yes, it happened a year ago or half a year ago, but now it's very rare. So if Shitcoin X just raises a lot of money, it's really the outlier, not the rule. And you really have to work like 70 hours a week for 6 months at least. There's a saying that once you understand blockchain, you can't sleep. And it's very true, I tell you. So probably you already know that. And if somebody like me can convince you not to do an ICO, then don't do it, okay? So regarding the white paper, it's pretty basic. Just you really have to have it right, have the business plan and how to expand, and really explaining why you use blockchain. And you have to give like 3 months time, not because the first version it needs like 3 months, but all the iterations, it will eventually will need 3 months. So give it a time, okay? So regarding the legal stuff, just one quick thing, like obviously if you rank all the countries where the ICOs are, US, Russia, UK at the top. But if you look at the per capita, how much ICOs are in the country, Estonia, Singapore, and Slovenia are at the top of the pack. So you really should look into it and give it a thought. And regarding smart contracts, it's really just very quickly, we use Ethereum and Solidity. And if you are developers, I really recommend, if you are not a developer, but you have a developer, then send them the Ethernaut by Zeppelin, which is basically like a hacker competition online. So you have to like hack 6 smart contracts, either way taking over control or stealing money, because it's totally different if you just read about the DO hack, the parity hack, and all the others. It's totally different than really hacking a real smart contract on a testnet and stealing test Ethereum. So doing that, it's a big help to create a very secure smart contract system. And you also have to do unit tests. So for example, I wrote 178 unit tests, and you have to audit it. In our experience, we talk with 19 companies, exclusively focusing on auditing smart contracts. And the price of it varies between $15,000 and $100,000. So I'm really recommending the Open Zeppelin contracts, because not just because I'm contributing to it, but still it's very good, so it's very well tested. And read, please, the consensus security best practice document. It's very useful. So regarding security, we work with Blockchain Labs, as I said, the Silent Signal company, which is very good ethical hacking company. You obviously have to take care of DDoS. You have to enable two-factor authentication, because I knew a project which got hacked through the DDoS protection because their email address and password was leaked to the Yahoo leak. So really turn on the two-factor authentication and obviously protect your communication channels, because this message was sent to me on Slack. It's really, they didn't put too much effort. It's just like a basic test containing an Ethereum address and said, OK, contribute there. We have a sale now. And they collected, like, still basically $500,000. So it's really easy. Scams are making too much money. So take care of that. Obviously, marketing is changing a lot. So Twitter and Telegram is working for us very good. And our method is 3 steps. First, collecting all the subjective data, then behavioral test it. Like, I'm not asking you whether you like a red button or a blue button. I'm just putting it out there and see how people react. Or we put out like 9 topics and see how people click, and then we know, OK, this is backed by behavioral research. So we pretty much do this, and then the end, communicate what's working the best. So for example, here you can see 4 different ads we run on Facebook. These are real ads. We use we put in a load of emojis. We use something which is close to what Trump says, like make healthcare great again, and they all failed. What was working is why did the Harvard alumnus professor join us? So this was working very well. What we do then, we market the shit out of it. So we really shoot a video about why he joined us, and we use all in our marketing materials why he's supporting us. Regarding Telegram, we were the first who did a Telegram campaign, meaning if people are putting like 2 hearts and Etheal.com in their names, we give them some Etheal tokens. Obviously, you have to you can't miss bitcoin.org, because as an ICO.me founder told that both the trolls and dollars live there, so you really have to be there. And you have to really think from the first principle, so not really copying others, but really make the thinking for yourself. So for example, if very low-profile members, they are very new members in the forum, they are constrained what they can put in the signature of theirs. And what we did, use like ASCII characters, and from the very low level of the members, we have a very big signature, which is very visible on the forum. So it's some small hack which is really working well. So really do your own thinking always. Yeah, we analyzed 850 ICOs, and it turns out that we got offers to get highlighted on websites for 2 BTC, which are below the level of where we can even measure their traffic. So that's why we really analyze the referral traffic, and as it turns out, just a couple of websites are bringing the referral traffic to ICO. So always do your own homework. And only constant thing is change. Like ICO Bench was even non-existent a few months ago, and now it's pretty prominent. And also, like Wallet Investor, which in November was like 0, now they are over 4 million visits per month, and they are providing an AI machine learning to forecast how ICOs and the tokens will perform. So very neat. Yeah, I already showed that, and always give value. So we interview ICO founders and crypto projects. It's a very nice way of interacting with your community. And that's all to wrap it up. It's team, white paper, legal, smart contract, security, and getting the marketing right. So thank you very much for your attention.